was normal. I read regular, normal Psy, went through school normally, drove, worked in my family business, worked on my dad's farm and drove everything under the sun, tractors, trucks, all that, which was a great experience for me. Good hard work. Taught me the value of hard work. I learned that early on from my parents. Well, in the year of '88, when I was 27 years old, I became legally blind. My world changed immediately, very quickly. My wife, we'd been married about 10 years then. She went on to do 2 shifts at the Marriott Hotel. I resigned from Marriott Hotels because I was legally blind. I walked out from Marriott Hotel after 8 years of working there in their purchasing department as a supervisor, knowing in my mind I would never work again. A 27-year-old man, 2 children at home, babies. I stayed home for 2 years on disability leave to care for them while my wife worked 80-hour shifts to pay for our mortgage and our car. And after 2 years, my ex-boss from Marriott Hotel called me, said, "Randall, my sales rep from US Foods is telling me about this areas he delivers to, snack bars, cafeterias. He says they're blind managers and owners of these businesses doing food service." I said, "No way, can't happen. That's crazy." And I came to find out it was true. Went through the Rehab Center for the Blind training program, got my license, and in '90 I took on my first snack bar down in Naples, South Florida. I'm a big believer in one door closes, another one opens. And this is all about opportunities and obstacles. And 8 years at my Votech, we loved it there. My wife came to work for me there. And within a short period of time, we lost the contract. It was private property. It was not state or federal property. Our program is protected under the Randolph-Shepard Act, a federal law. That allows us to do business on federal and state properties. So McDonald's and Panera can't encroach upon us or compete with us that way. Well, I lost the contract because it was on private property. A new director came in. We had to leave. Nothing we did wrong, it just was business. Well, I applied for other places. One of those that I was awarded out of, actually was awarded 5 locations, ironically, because we had the highway vending open up, so a lot of the older operators were moving on to the highways, opened up a lot of cafeterias. So, under the good advice of a certain person in our program, he directed me toward looking at Kennedy Space Center. One of those was Kennedy Space Center. I wound up working at Kennedy Space Center for 14 years, an amazing part of my career, really. Anyone listening to this today that's interested in trying to look at this program, I strongly advise you do it. If you know someone vision impaired or you are, take a look at this program. It's wonderful, really is. I do have bad days. Yeah, there's going to be days. If you come to this program, you're going to say, "Why am I in this? I could be home sleeping on the sofa or at the beach." Not every day is a good day, but the rewards are tremendous. You know, when you have a day where your assistant comes to you and says, "Well, the Cisco delivery didn't bring half the stuff, so half our products won't be here till tomorrow when he brings it back." And when you're just have been told your other employee walked out the door because he heard about a better job offer down the road, they're paying $1 more per hour, by the way. It's like days like that, you wonder. And I've had those days, honestly, and I will have more. But it's good stuff, it really is. And so I was at Kennedy Space Center for 14 years, just a regular guy like me. And I've turned this whole thing around to being blind. I tell people my blindness is a blessing because it's opened doors for me that I wouldn't have not had open if I were blind, really. Would I choose not to be blind? Of course. If I get sight, I'd take it yesterday, a minute ago. I don't have that, it's not an option. So it's a choice we make, and it's all right here. Mental attitude, which I learned so much about at the Kennedy Space Center. If you believe you can do it, you will do it. If you believe you can't, you won't. But the NASA engineers are the people who taught me that outlook. While I was at Kennedy Space Center, so many phenomenal things happened. I was invited to speak to the American astronaut on the space station, which I did, at a public venue in front of a couple hundred people. I was on the short list with 10 other people. 2 of them were ex-astronauts. And I'm in line waiting my turn to talk, and I'm in a surreal moment like, this can't be me. They've got the wrong guys. But they allowed me to do that because I came to know people out there, and they respected me, were inspired by what I do. And really quick to wrap this up, because I know I'm on limited time here. Should I wrap up? Yeah. Yeah. One wonderful thing that happened out here was my friend Gabrielle, who I mentioned, her dad is a 20-year NASA engineer out there for NASA. I met him as my customer. He invited me to run a 5K race as a totally blind person. I became legally blind 27 years old on a journey of 20 years of losing my sight. 10 years ago, I became totally blind. I hadn't run a 5K when I had sight. Why run a 5K when you have sight? Wait for the challenge. Become blind, then run a 5K. Come on, make it hard. I ran my first 5K after being totally blind for 6 months. Gabe insisted I run. I told my friend Gabe, Gabrielle's dad, you're crazy. Can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. For 4 weeks. He said, yes, you can. He wouldn't take no for an answer. I ran my first 5K on the shuttle landing strip where the shuttle lands. Fell in love with running. Went on to run several half marathons, 2 full marathons. I run the local 5Ks here. So no one can tell me I can't do it because I'm blind. I tell myself that sometimes, but friends like Gabrielle and her dad and other people in my life make a difference. And that's what I heard with the discussion earlier. I got here late, but they were talking mentors and being our own advocate. Please put yourself out of the comfort zone. If you're here today, a vision impaired person, go for it. Thank you.